joined by Scott Cooper and Ethan McGarvey. And we'll start with you, Coop. Lots of goings on here on campus. Spring seasons are getting into the beginning of their seasons, but more importantly for you personally, both basketball teams starting to finish up the regular season, going into the postseason. Just talk a little bit about the goings on here at campus, and especially from an athletic point of view.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say more importantly anymore now that I'm the athletic director, but yeah, we've got a lot going on here. Baseball and softball just opened up their seasons this weekend, and we're excited about the potential of both those teams this year. I know baseball played some really good teams there to start off the year, but they're excited about what they've got the ability to do this season, and I think we're going to see some good things out of them. Softball's got a young group, a lot of new faces here with Coach Danke's first year, but again, another group that I think's got some potential to really take a step forward this year, and we're looking to see what they do. And then obviously men's and women's basketball, we're getting ready for postseason here in our last week. By the time this comes out, we'll be past our last week of conference play, and then hopefully into a deep postseason run. So I think it's a fun time, but it's also a busy time. And I know Ethan's just having started here in person on campus. He's been working with us all year, but is finding out how much work only 6 sports can be.
Ethan, first couple months here on campus, just talk about your experience so far. You get to see grass for the first time since you left California. Just talk a little bit about what your experience so far has been like here on campus.
Yeah, I'm just excited to be here. It's been a great transition here to Indiana University South Bend, and it has been a transition to 6 sports. I'm used to being at universities that have upwards of 17, 18 teams, and it's been a nice transition. Everyone has been so kind and so relaxed with the transition, and allowed me to kind of grow and learn in this new position. And I've been so excited to start to work with the teams, get to know the coaches, and it's really been a fun transition. Even though the weather's been really cold, it's been really snowy, and I haven't really seen the grass, but we're getting used to it, and really enjoying the new stage of life.
You got 6 coaches you got to deal with. What are some of the good things that you've taken from those 6 individuals, because they're all terrific at their craft, whether it's working individually with the students one-on-one or in the team concept. But what have you learned personally from these 6 individuals?
What I've seen is that there's a real buy-in to the university. I think each time I talk to the coach, they know what Indiana University South Bend is about. They know what the selling points are, and they really believe in the mission of the university, in the mission of their athletic teams, and they're all together on that mission. And so when you meet with when you see the players, when you see the student athletes, when you see the coaches, when you see how they perform on the court, you see that mission lived out, and you see the values kind of lived out with how they play and how they interact with each other. Coop,
you get to do dual roles. You get to be an AD, you get to look over all 6 sports, but you also have your own, and you get to work with Ethan. What are some of the nuances with kind of making sure that one sport doesn't get preferential treatment over the other, and making sure that all 6 are at their peak once their season starts and once it continues to go on through the season?
Well, that's a tough one. The big answer to that is there is preferential treatment based on the time of year. And I know that sounds bad, but I'll explain, is that, when you're in volleyball season and soccer season in the fall, your focus has to be, as an athletic director, an assistant athletic director, has to be on those teams, right? Our basketball teams aren't competing yet. Our baseball and softball are in their, fall seasons that they aren't consequential to the rest of their year in terms of wins and losses and how those things are viewed, publicly. So if you are, if I am the basketball coach first in the fall, versus the athletic director first in the fall, it's a bad look for me as a professional, and it's a bad look for our student athletes to see that. So that they've got to know that we're invested in them, and that we care about their success and those things. And all our teams are at different points in their development, right? Our women's soccer teams, basically had 5 seasons, for lack of a better way of putting it. Our volleyball team's a little bit older, but still reasonably new, and so on and so forth. So, the resources they have to compete and where they're at in their development as a program are in different places too. And so you have to help them keep that perspective as you're going too. So it's not as simple as just saying that we're all the same, because we're not. Our men's and women's basketball teams have been here for, 30 or 40 years, whatever it is now, and obviously have had more chance to grow than some of our other teams. So, my job is to help them along that path that you talked about, and then make sure that we're hiring good people to do that, because Lord knows I'm not competent enough to do a lot of these jobs. So that's why we hire a guy like Ethan, and that's why we hire good assistant coaches, and that's why we hire good student workers, and all the whole team that makes this thing work. And we've been very fortunate to have a lot of good people in these roles to help do that. But obviously it gets more difficult for me when I get into basketball season, because my focus then has to be there. I've sat down with those parents, and they're are the parents of our players, and told them I'm going to treat them like my own kids, and I've got to do that, right? I've got to live up to that while still being the athletic director and helping out with the women's basketball program. And now that we're into the spring season, our baseball and softball programs. And again, I don't think that's something you can do unless you've got, as Ethan put it, the people that are bought into who we are and what we're trying to do here.
Ethan, what excites you not just about this job, but the athletic program as a whole? You get to work with great guys like Scott Cooper or Steve Bruce, in the fall and winter with their respective teams. You get Bobby Barnes and Kelly Topolsky with their respective teams in the fall with soccer and volleyball respectively. But what excites you about the 6 programs that you have at this campus and the 6 individuals that you're working with?
Yeah, I think for me, I've always been a sports-focused person. Like, I've always loved athletics. I've always loved watching pro sports, college sports, the like. I've always liked playing them myself. So being a part of a collegiate program is exciting for me just in and of itself. And so to be a part of Indiana University South Bend is great, because we do have 6 really solid teams, really great coaches that I get to invest in and be a part of. And I get to go with that flow a little bit easier than Scott does, because I don't have a team that I'm coaching, that I'm attached to. So I can easily make those transitions and enjoy the full year for what it's worth, and start in the fall and really dive into women's soccer and women's volleyball, dive into those sports, and as it transitions, share that focus with men's and women's basketball, and then transition in spring and really be able to focus on each team and celebrate each and every win with them full-heartedly as they go through their season. And it's just a joy to be a part of their season and be a part of their successes, even as from the sidelines, to really celebrate them to the best of my ability, make sure they get the joy and the recognition that they deserve for their work.
Well, one of the teams you've been able to celebrate a lot of wins with is coached by the gentleman on your left, and you guys have been very, very solid all season long. Just talk about what your team has done from the beginning of the year to now to just kind of get themselves ready for that postseason run that you guys are going to hopefully go on a very long one. Because when you guys are playing at your very best, I don't think there's a team in the conference that can stop you guys other than maybe yourselves.
Well, I'm glad you think so, because I'm not always so sure. But no, we've got a good group. I think the big thing with the group that we have this year, we lost 5 of our top 7 scorers from last season. And we had a lot of new guys come into the fold here this year. And, I think the big thing with that is anytime you have that, it's tough to get people to buy into each other. But that hasn't necessarily been the case this year. We've got a lot of our returning guys. The second that our new guys came on campus, we added 6 new guys this year. Really, took them under the wing, showed them how we do things here, trying to show them what the standard was for the way we do things on and off the court, and they've done a great job of that. And from the new guy standpoint, they've done a good job of buying into that. We've got 3 guys in particular, 3 transfer players that have been successful in their own right and in places they've been in the past. And rather than hoot and holler and say, well, this is how I did things at my last stop, they bought in again to the way we're trying to do things here. And anytime you have that, you got a chance. And that's if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that we'd be in a position to potentially compete for the conference championship, I don't know. That's a lot of turnover to do that, but here we are, and I think that's a credit to the kids that we've been fortunate enough to work with.
I'm going to go back to you, Ethan. When you're in your role down on the floor, obviously you're worried about Coop and the coaching and the players on the court as well, but you also have another group of people that you have to look at, and those are the people that kind of continue to make the train go forward on the tracks. And those are the people that are working at the scorer's table. You're making sure that they're doing their job, committed to what they're doing. How important not only is it to watch what Scott's doing with his group, but your group that are down there on the floor as well. Because if they're not doing their job, he can't be able to do his job and vice versa. But just talk a little bit about your people kind of behind the scenes.
Well, that leads me into two big shout-outs. Number one is Regional Radio Sports Network. It's nice to have you guys there to make the streaming process so easy. I don't have to think about the live stream, the broadcast. You guys are doing a great job. That's all covered. Like that, not having to worry about that is such a relief for me, and so appreciative of the work that you guys do to live stream our broadcast. Another big shout-out is obviously our women's volleyball coach, Callie, who does a great job hiring students and training them up before I got here to make sure they're ready to go. And we have an awesome student worker staff who handles the stats, handles the scoreboard, handles the book, and even people who are returning. So we have alumni coming back to help out. I mean, like I said, when I talk about the buy-in, it's not just the coaches, it's the student athletes, it's the former student athletes, it's the current students who love being a Titan. And so being able to see that and seeing the cog really run on game days has been an easy transition for me again to see it already rolling well. People who are really, really good at their jobs doing stats, really, really good at their job doing scoreboard and shot clock, where it's been kind of relief for me. I can focus more on with the players on the court. I can focus on, hey, what's going on with the game? How am I going to write my recap to really highlight what went on? What can I post on social media? Because I don't have to sit at the table babysitting somebody. I can roam around, take pictures, and do whatever to make sure that I'm covering the game as best as I can.
Ethan McGarvey, Scott Cooper. We'll be back with more right here on the Scott Cooper Show on RSN.com. Back at the Student Activity Center here on the campus of IU South Bend, the Scott Cooper Show with Scott Cooper and Ethan McGarvey. And Scott, you got some questions for Ethan as well.
Yeah, so Ethan, I know you and I have talked about your hiring process as we went through this, and this was a long search. We really wanted to make sure we got this right, and by we, I mean me, because I was going to really lean on this position heavily. But, as we went through it, we kind of decided, as we were deciding what we wanted to make this position when it opened up, we really decided on three things. We wanted somebody who could really lean into the marketing side of things. A big part of our mission here is to be a part of the university that helps raise the profile for the university. We want to be, the front porch for the university within our region. We were looking for somebody that could help us increase home attendance and make a better experience for those, the students and community and things like that to come out and, see what we're all about here. And again, kind of get an idea what IU South Bend's all about. And then we're looking, for sponsorships. And again, Raising Cane's, if you're listening, we're available. But as we're going through that, and we've got a great community here that's really, that I think 85% of our graduates stay here in the area now, and do that. So there's certainly a lot of opportunities to connect with that community here. But your background is primarily in sports information. What is it that in your background that you thought would made you ready for a position like this?
I think at my last stop, I had a well-rounded sports information experience where I was down in the weeds of doing stats and doing game recaps and posting social media. But as I went through my experience there, I got more into depth about more things with game day related things, as running promotions, running marketing tools, and kind of getting a more well-rounded experience within the athletics department in general, and getting that experience definitely set me up to where taking this job felt comfortable, felt like, yeah, I can definitely come in here and do a good job for IU South Bend. Like I've said before, the mission of the Titans just makes sense, and when you have the buy-in from the university, that's easy to promote that and send that out. If people were wishy-washy on it or weren't sure, then it's hard to make that branding and then send it out. But the branding's already set, the mission's already set. Now I just have to go out and show that out to the community.
That's good. Now, you moved here with your two kids and wife, and you guys got here literally as probably the worst winter we've had in the last, 7 or 8 years hit. Did you question that decision at all?
No. We knew what we were coming into. We spent plenty of time in Indiana when we were first married, and very used to the weather. It was funny running into everybody saying we had just moved here from California, and everybody told us, "Oh, this is the worst winter we've had in so many years." It's like, "Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so much better." No, it did not. But it's definitely a transition, but one that we were expecting, one that we were ready for, and we still had our coats from when we lived in Indiana. We just had to buy coats and boots for our kids, and they're transitioning nicely. It's only been a month or so, and they're already used to the snow and to the cold. So we'll make the most of it and be even more ready for it when more snow comes.
Now, as you have probably seen, the kids of the coaches and staff here kind of run this building. Your kids have experienced it, twice now, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, and have not yet stuffed themselves in the locker, so already they're off to a great start. But how has that transition been for your kids, being in a new setting, new teams, a little bit closer to Philadelphia for your son, who I know is a big Eagles fan, but not quite there yet?
Yeah, no, they've been great. My 1-year-old doesn't know what's going on, but she's just so happy and so sweet. It's hard to make her upset. My 3-year-old definitely, I think, went through a little phase of like, kind of what's going on, but he's doing great too, and it is a definitely a new chapter for our family, but one that we're excited for. Where we were before, we didn't have a full house. We didn't have a strong kind of area to run around in, and now we have much more room to grow, much more healthy place for our kids to continue to grow and develop. So they're definitely excited, even though we had to be inside for a while. It's still just a healthier place for our family to develop, and one that we are excited to see continue to grow and continue to be a part of our lives.
Have you had a chance to explore the area yet? And, obviously the weather hasn't been great yet, but now that we're starting to thaw out here, have you had a chance to explore the area yet? And what have been some of your favorite spots to stop by as we go through?
So a little bit here and there. We, for example, today my wife took the kids over to the Riverwalk Park and was able to enjoy the nice weather today. So that's been nice. We'll see how that went when I go home for lunch today. Let's see, where else have we gone? We kind of gone more north towards Granger area. I've hit a few restaurants, some that we're familiar with, like Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's, but trying to hit.
If you're available with Chick-fil-A and Raising Cane's, so are we.
Well, always available for a call. And then just kind of trying a few new spots, not off the top of my head, but we're definitely getting more used to the area, trying to go on more walks in our neighborhood. Excited for the Eberhard Petro golf course to open up, living right near there, so excited to see that open up and get some swings in.
That's it. And for those who don't know, Ethan's son, who is 3, is that right?
3, yeah.
Who was down there getting swings in on the simulator, so they're not messing around here when they come in.
Every time he comes to the office, that's the first thing he wants to do is hit the golf area and take some swings. So,
yeah. Have you had a chance to explore the zoo or any of the winter festivities there at all yet?
Actually, on Saturday we got to go to the zoo before the women's basketball senior day, and it was we were only there for an hour, but it was awesome to see the animals. Our kids loved it. They got to pet the goats and see the alpacas, and my son wanted to see the tiger, and he was looking back in the cave. It was way in the back, but he was trying to look for it. Got to see some really cool animals. My wife loved it, automatically wanted a membership, so we're looking forward to that once it gets to its full season. I know it's only during the weekends right now, but that was a fun little spot to hit, and we're excited to get to explore it again soon.
Yeah, good. All right, now, as this is your first appearance on the Scott Cooper Show, we never end the show without any kind of gimmick. You haven't been here long enough for me to really go full gimmick, but I figured,
I'm ready. I'm ready. Don't be afraid.
All right, well, we're not going to hold back too much. I don't want to make it sound like we're going easy on you just because you just got here. But we have decided today I'm going to – I got to pull out my phone here because I got my notes on there. But today, we're going to quiz you on how well you've gotten to know your coaches.
Okay.
So this is the staff you work directly with.
Okay.
I thought about going a little bit bigger yet, but as I have, we're going to start small here. So we're just going to have small quizzes, see how well you really know any of these. And when you get them all wrong, we're going to make sure that everybody on the watching this on YouTube knows about it.
All right.
All right. So first off, we have a lot of ties here to different states, but one in particular is Ohio. A lot of us have backgrounds in Ohio. How many coaches here lived in Ohio at some point during their lives?
Oh, man. Lived in Ohio. Let's see. Well, I know you and Bobby both lived in Ohio. I believe Coach Bruce did live in Ohio. Oh, man. I'm going to guess. And Coach Zenke. So I believe 4.
That's a good start. All right, yeah. All 4 of us were permanent residents of Ohio at some point or another during our lives. Bobby grew up in the greater Columbus area. Coach Bruce lived outside of Columbus, a town called Delaware, there for a while his father worked at a place called Ohio Wesleyan, where a lot of us have connections to. Annie and I are both from Northeast Ohio, and actually, this is well before Annie's time, but Mike High School was actually in the same league as her high school. We lost the conference championship then my senior year. No bitter feelings about it. It's fine. It's been 30 years. I'm over it. So, now, several of your coaches have talents outside of coaching. Some of us aren't all that talented in coaching, but they gave us jobs anyway. Can you name which of your coaches, all right, writes and plays their own music?
Writes and plays their own music. Well, the person who has talked the most about music is Bobby. Do I think he writes and plays his own music? That's who I would guess is Bobby.
The answer is Steve Bruce.
Really?
Bruce writes his own music, plays his own guitar.
Nice.
The man's got kind of a Dave Matthews vibe, very talented. You see, if you're here during IU Day, he tends to perform down at the dorms. Highly recommend for anybody watching this to make sure you check out Coach Bruce.
What's his style of music?
Like I said, kind of a Dave Matthews type of vibe. Are you old enough to know Dave Matthews? I probably should preface that as I might be the only one who, yeah, that's right. JP's the same age as I am. So as we go on here, we've got 2 coaches from the greater South Bend area here, and and Callie Topolsky and Doug Boozy. Both of them, went to colleges elsewhere and then came back home and eventually ended up with us. Can you tell me what their previous stop was before working at IUSB?
Doug, no, I don't remember. Callie, I do remember reading it on her bio, and now I'm blanking on it. Man. I don't remember what Callie was in. It was in Indiana.
Yes.
Correct. And it was. Oh man.
He's thinking hard.
It was not an IU school, right?
It was an IU school.
It was an IU East?
It was IU East.
Okay.
All right. Now, I feel like I tipped the hand, so I'm not going to give you credit for that. And Doug was also the head baseball coach at South Bend Washington High School before he got here. So.
South Bend Washington, okay.
Yeah, so he decided that he'd rather make less money and work longer hours to come here and work with us, and we're happy to have him.
Good decision.
So,
good decision.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now, and we'll leave it with this. You've worked with us for however many months now, and the last 2 or so in person. What have you noticed most outside of the nice stuff that you said earlier? And that was nice, all right. But in reality, what have you noticed most about the dynamic in our office?
I've noticed a kind of relaxed, kind of a chill sense that people really are comfortable here. They really like it here, and so that has tended itself to an environment that allows people to do their jobs and do it well without a lot of stress, without a lot of tension in the air. People can communicate well with each other. There's you don't have to have an open door policy. Like, everyone's office is always open. Like, within a minute or within 5 minutes of me sitting down at my desk, somebody's coming to my door to come talk to me. Usually it's Bobby, but really anybody would be happy to come up and come talk to me, which I appreciate. I'm not the most outgoing person, but I am always down for a conversation. I love talking with people, getting to know people more, and so I've appreciated that kind of relaxed mentality. That relaxed mentality with the competitive is what I love. So I love people who want to communicate, who want to get work done, and be friendly and well-mannered about it. But then when it comes to the competition, to see that fire come out of the coaches and it's not just them to just kind of like, hey, how's it going? It's like, but when you get to the competition, hey, let's fight and let's win. I love to see that duality and to see those come together in athletics. It's just a perfect combination that I've enjoyed so far, being able to get to know everybody.
Yeah, see, that was the nice answer. The correct answer was the number of suites that are around this place. Like, you can't walk 10 feet without running into it. But that's fine. He's new. He'll figure it out. So
I'll figure it out.
So that's all we've got. Like I said, our gimmick was a little small today just because I didn't want to throw too much at him when he didn't know people yet. But that's Ethan McGarvey. We're happy to have him here, and truthfully, I'm going to dump a lot of my work onto him, so even better that we've really brought him on the show today.
Happy to be here.
We'll be back with more with the Scott Cooper Show right after this. Back here at the Scott Cooper Show on the campus of IU South Bend, obviously with the bench boss and athletic director Scott Cooper, and with Ethan McGarvey as well. I want to thank both of these gentlemen for their time. And just remember, by the time this airs, baseball and softball will be at full swing. Basketball will hopefully be NAIA bound with a couple of games under their belt, the NAIA tournament. And remember to check IUSBTitans.com for all athletic schedules and stats and everything you need on Titan athletics. And also check out www.rrsn.com for all Titans broadcasts that we will have. We'll have all baseball and softball in the spring for you to check out as well. So for Scott Cooper, for Ethan McGarvey, for Tanner Camp, who somehow made the three of us look and sound as good as we do, JP Gilbert signing off.